Summer is definitely one of the busiest times of the year for us at the farm. Right now, all of our cattle are grazing on pasture, and they will be for most of the summer and usually well into the fall and even early winter. But we always put up enough hay to get them through those months when we don't have grass. So my dad has been really busy working on cutting all of our hay and getting it baled and then hauling it up to the farm so we can store it until we need it this winter. And then while he's been doing that, I've been busy working at the farm, taking care of all the animals. A few things that we have to get done this week is get our pigs moved out to pasture so that they have better shade in these hot weeks to come. And then we also have a group of meat chickens that are ready to come out of the brooder and go to pasture. This is an area of the farm that is really overgrown right now. It has had grass in it before, but there used to be an old pond in this area. And then we knocked the pond out because it really did not work to have the pond there with the cattle. And so we knocked it out, and then mostly just weeds came up and grew in its place. So my husband and I decided this would be the perfect place for the pigs to work on this summer. So pigs are really good at rooting up the ground and clearing it. And then our hope is this summer that they can come out and enjoy this area, this greenery to munch on, and good shaded area for them to live all summer long. Then this fall, after the pigs have been out here all summer, we plan to come and plant some ryegrass for the cattle to get some grazing on too. So this area would be just wasted area on the farm, but instead we're going to run our pigs here all summer, grow them out, and then in the fall we'll be able to plant something that is actually going to be useful for the cattle herd. So the neat thing about pigs is they're actually really smart animals, and you can train them to electric fence like the same way you would train your dog to the electric fence. So our pigs now, we've had them for a few weeks and we have them trained to the fence. So now we can get them out in this much bigger area just by putting up 2 strands of electric wire, and they will totally respect that fence. We've never had any problems with the hogs wanting to run through it or even touch it, because once they know it's there, they don't mess with it. And that allows us to be able to offer them such nice big areas all summer long, is the fact that they are trained to that fence. And it's so easy for me and my husband to put up. Today we're working on it, and only took us about a couple hours to get the fence totally ready to go for them. We raise a group of pigs every summer to offer to local customers in half or whole hog portions. So this summer we have a group of 20 Berkshire hogs that we plan to raise out here on this wooded pastured area. And then we also offer them free choice grain that we source non-GMO. And then I'll advertise our pork at the farmer's market, and I'll start taking orders for half or whole hogs. And then I also take a small amount of them to a local butcher that can do the USDA inspection on them, which allows me to be able to also offer our pork through our website. So the pigs is something that we've kind of just started. I think this is our 3rd year doing them. It's been a little bit of a learning curve and a challenge, but now that we've kind of had them a few summers, we do enjoy having them on the farm. There's just been a few things that we had to get figured out to be able to raise them more successfully and basically more easily. But now that we've been doing it, it's something that we really like, and in the future we hope to expand the operation and be able to do more hogs. But for now, these 20 pigs keep us plenty busy, and it's enough to offer our local customers. As I have mentioned in previous videos, we also raise pastured chicken on our farm. So we order meat chickens from the hatchery, and then usually around 2 to 3 weeks this time of year, they're ready and big enough to go out to pasture. So then we raise them in these chicken tractors that my husband built. We actually went to Polyface Farms in Virginia. It's owned by Joel Salatin, which if you're familiar with this style of agriculture, then you've definitely heard of him before. But we had the privilege to go to his farm a few summers ago and tour it and listen to a lot of really great speakers, and we were inspired to try raising chickens ourselves. So after coming back home and reading a few books, we decided we were going to build these chicken tractors and give it a try. And though we've had some challenges in raising them, we have learned a lot and still feel that they add a lot of value to our farm. And though it's hard to raise them like this, it takes a lot of extra work, we are able to sell the chicken at a profit, and we are able to offer our customers a product that they really value versus just going to the store and buying chicken that was raised in more of a factory type setting. So we're going to continue to raise these chickens like this, and we see a lot of benefit, not only just having a great product like pastured meat chicken, but also just a lot of benefit to the land and where these chickens were raised on the farm years before. Just touching a little bit more on the benefits we see to the land. We put about 60 chickens in each one of these tractors, and then every day I move the tractor forward a full tractor length. And then with 4 of them, you can make your way across the field with a pretty wide swath. And then if you come back after just a few weeks of the chickens being there, you will see that grass is much richer green. And actually into the next spring, we've noticed that that grass, that fertilizer that the chickens naturally fertilize the ground with, it really carries forward into the next season. And the cattle actually love grazing the fields where the chickens were. Anytime I moved them into a paddock that had the chickens in it, either earlier in the season or the year before, they always immediately go for that really good green grass. So we love raising these chickens and picking a part of the farm that we really want to try to revitalize using them. And then we'll kind of really focus on that area for the summer, and we'll use the chickens as a way to naturally fertilize it and make the ground better. If you live on a small homestead or a small farm and you're looking for an easy way to get started with raising some kind of your own meat, then I would definitely recommend raising meat chickens because they're pretty easy to raise. Your biggest challenge is going to be predators. That's kind of the biggest challenge with chickens in general, but we found with moving the tractors forward every day, that doesn't give a predator much chance to dig underneath of them as long as you're on pretty level ground. And then as you saw, we had to do some minor adjustments to the tractors to make sure that they're a little bit more predator proof on top, and that's something that we kind of run through every time that we put a new batch in them. But other than that, for the most part, they're pretty easy. They take a lot of work. You do have to move them forward every day. You have to refill their feeders and refill their waters and make sure that everything's fresh and clean, because these chickens, you want them to grow in like a 7 to 9 week span. So you have to really make sure that you're giving them everything that they need to grow. But really, they're pretty easy to raise in these tractors like this, and they produce a great quality chicken. Like, we eat our chicken, and we even say like we would never buy chicken at a grocery store again. Like, we'll always raise them this way, at least enough to feed our own family, because of the difference in the quality of the meat itself. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it and seeing how we do things on our small farm here in rural Missouri, and I look forward to sharing more with you next week.